Okay, so this particular video is going to be a Bluebeam video showing you how to use the markup tools or the markup and use one of the tools, which is the line markup tool. We have to do activity 5.1 as one of our assignments, and I'm going to have you do that activity using your Bluebeam. So let's do that. So you would be in your activity, on your particular module for activity 5.1, you have this list of instructions here. First thing is to do is to download a PDF and then open that file in Bluebeam and add a hyphen with your first initial and last name. So if you downloaded this file name.pdf, you'd add a hyphen, your first letter initial, and then your last name, and then do a save as. So you'll create a separate file that you'll mark up. You'll perform the activity on that new file that you created, and you'll save your work when you're done, and you'll submit the work by hitting the Start Assignment button, this one here. And then once you're in the assignment, you choose your assignment file, right? You'll have to select a file and then hit the Submit Assignment button to complete it, to upload it. So let's do that. Let's download the file. It pulls it up for me to look at it, and there's the assignment. So filling out your name, the date, and the class is part of your grades. So there's this assignment will count for 5 points, 2 points for this part, doing these two, and then 2 points for doing these two, and then 1 point for filling out your name and doing it all in Bluebeam. So let's download that file because it's still on our browser. I'm going to put it on my desktop, and you see I downloaded it on the desktop, and got this little menu down here showing me what I just downloaded. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. It didn't open it in Bluebeam. Let's close. Let's go to the desktop. I just selected it on the desktop. Bluebeam is opening up. There it is. I'll full screen it. Okay, so being able to fill out your name, you need to use the typewriter function, which is this button right here, typewriter, or you can go to Tools, Markup, and there's the typewriter also. Or we could just hit the letter W for writing, I believe. Escape out of there. Hit W. And now it's giving me a cursor to write. So that's where I want to write. Oh, that's not the right function. Hit W again. There. I know the cursor would look different, right? So now I have this letter cursor where I can select where I want to put my name. And I can put my name, date, and class all in one text right. Okay, so I select, type my name, hit enter, and it'll create a new line. Don't worry about the spacing yet. The date, today is the 24th. And then this class is CNST 115. Let's double check. Just make sure. Let me see what file I'm looking at. Let me pause for a second. Yes, it is 115-102. So let's just put that in there. The section number. Now you see that I've what I've done, and I hit escaped, and it turned to a dialog box. See, the spacing is not quite right to line up with the spacing of the existing text. We can fix that. So while it's still active, I can go find the settings. So you've got these first row. These are toolbars. These vertical. This is a toolbar and this is a toolbar. And this particular second toolbar has a properties button that looks like a wheel, right? A gear. You can select properties, and the properties menu will open up for this particular text. So you can see now over here in this big center column is the actual properties window. And then this is where the page that we're looking at, right where the border is, you see the cursor changed. If I click and hold, I can make that window a little bit wider, so I really see what's going on. So there's my text, and these are all the different settings for that text. And all we want to do is change the spacing. So where I have line spacing here, I can just use the up arrow and change it from 1 to the next increment up, which is 1.10. So I'll just keep hitting up until I get it spaced the way I want it. I like that. Now I can keep that spacing and for the next time I do it again, so I don't have to do it each time. So where the typewriter properties are, at the very top, where is another set of properties, right? These are the same properties, just not as many as in the details window, but you've got this drop down and it says button drop down window for that tool, and I can set as default. That's the button right there. And when I do that, it saves whatever settings, like that line spacing setting. Also down here in the settings, there's also the set as default button. There's also add to a tool chest button. Over here, one of these is a tool chest there. So you can have your favorite buttons saved here in the tool chest. But I'll just take it back to properties. I don't even need to see the properties anymore, so I can go back to this window, just double click on it with that cursor, has it highlighted and changed, just double click, and I just turned it to full page. If I wanted that back, I could just select this button here, bring it back. It's a window. I can also close it and hide it. But I'll leave it open. Now I just click on the screen and I'm done with that. Okay, so let's continue with the assignment. This one's real easy. We're being introduced to using the line tool. So right here in this first column, this first toolbar on the left side, there is a button that looks like a line, and if you hover over it, it says line. Then it has the letter L. So that's the quick function to be able to draw an L. Otherwise, you can go using the menu bar up above and you go to Tools, Markup, and then in the Markup tools you see a list, and there is the line function. So the same function, same operation. These are just like a quick toolbar. These are your drop down menu toolbars. Everything's found under these menus, or you can program them to be on these toolbars. So I'll go ahead and select the line button. Now it wants me to draw a line. The properties opened up. So I have two property values. I have the one up here and the one out down here. So some of these, like the color, is the same color here. 100%. So that's opacity. That's if I want to make the line like translucent, be able to see through it. But it's 100%, so it's a solid filled in line. Here, which is the same here, is the drop down menu for the style of the line. Same here in the settings drop down menu. Also notice that the solid line is what is selected, and start and end, what's that? This if you want to have arrows at the end of your line, if you wanted this to be some sort of dimension line. But in this case, we're just drawing good old-fashioned regular lines from point to point. So we've selected that option. It's ready to go. So I've got this arrow button, but it's waiting for me to say where the line goes. In order to do that, let's look at the instructions. Sketch a horizontal line between points A, and J, J. Okay, so there's point A, there's A and A hyphen, and there's J, J hyphen. So let's select, make sure we got it. Select the line, then click on the point. See, notice the cursor changed to a crosshair. So it says, where exactly do you want it? I want it right on top of that dot. Just click once, and now I can move around. It's like pinned down, and I can stretch the other end to where I want it. Get it right there. Now I've just put a line in place. I've hit, click the second time. It's active, so if I want to move it around, I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard, or I can hover over it, and then my hand will change to crosshairs, and then I can click and hold it and drag it, move it around where I want to also. Also, notice that it's based on, it's not perfectly level. And if I look, because I have two x-axis, I have x at 4.89 and x at 2.164. So if I just copied those numbers for the x, highlight it over there, copy that, and then went to the other x, pardon me, not x, y, because notice first x is at 1.48, and then the other one's at one's at 1.48 and the second one's at 4.2. So that's this distance apart. X is x1 and x2 are this way. Y1 and y2 are like almost at the same level. So y1 is 3.59 and y2 is 3.6. So they're close, right? So let's call both of these 3.6. 3.6 at y1, 3.6 at y2. Now that line is perfectly horizontal. We've designated the point to be exactly at 3.6, so that is a perfectly level line. 3.6. See, 3.6, 1.48 is the answer, is the point location for that, and then 3.6, 4.2164 is the location for that. So that's basically it. I'd like you to complete the assignments, make sure those lines are perfectly horizontal. So you're going to be drawing a line between points J and J, and then you're going to draw a vertical line between letters K and the letters T. And then that's pretty much it. So I've started it for you and giving you an example on what to do and how to do. So this is how you draw a line using the Bluebeam tool. If I just was so inclined, I can activate it, and I can change some of the parameters, like the line style. Maybe I want it to be a dashed line. There, I just turned it into a dashed line. No, but I'm going to keep it as a solid line, and then I'm going to... Oh, I didn't hit Save As, so let's do the Save As. So I'm just going to put the hyphen, the under hyphen, my initial A, P, E, A, P, E, R, E, Z, and then I'll save it on my desktop. Now that it's ready and saved on my desktop, I will go to completing the assignment.
Move means moving, you know it.
I'm in a class right now. My wife is yelling at the dogs. And so in this student view, let's go to where we're going to turn it in. Where is that activity? Let me get to the student view. So it looks like what you guys would see. I select Start Assignment. And then now I can choose a file. Go to my desktop. Find that file. And then I've chosen it. Yeah. And then I'll just hit Submit. And yay! You get the confetti when you've done it right. At least if you've submitted it. And then there's the name of the file, you see, with my name on it. If I wanted to download it back, right? But I don't need to. So that's basically it. That's how you draw the line. That's how you perform the activity. If you have any questions, just send me a message.